All right, in the previous video, we went ahead and we did a fasten mate on the back, left one, and then we did a planar mate on the right one. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the fronts. Now, here's the indicator with the fronts. Because we have a front that is 8 inches and we have a total distance of 9 inches, we have 1 inch of play. The reason for that is because it's just not long enough to span across. So we're going to have to do an offset in there. You'll also notice as you look at this piece, you look at the deal, there's also an offset downward. Now that downward piece could be in your instructions. In fact, it is. If I were to go ahead, let's see if I can zoom in. Okay. You'll notice that we have a 1/2 inch offset and a 1/2 inch offset, and then that 1/2 inch from the top. So they give you the indicator on how to do that. So we're going to go ahead and do that same exact thing. So I'm going to jump into the front here. I'm going to insert my front piece this time. And I never like to insert on top of something, and I always like to try to have a little bit of an angle. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do the fasten mate. And it's going to be very unique, okay? So because we filleted these, when I do the fasten mate, I have to be very specific. That is the only downfall of the fasten mate. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to zoom in, and I want this indicator to lay flat on the surface in which I'm doing near the edge. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select that. And then because this is symmetrical on both sides, I'm just going to take the nearest one. Notice that indicator is laying flat on the surface that I'm going to connect to it. So now it gives me a preview. It's inside. I don't want it inside. I want it opposed because you can't put a piece of wood inside another. So I'm going to go ahead and flip. And then I'm going to rotate. Now, what yours does, I don't know. But you have to be savvy enough to say, that's not what I want. I want to get it to where I want before I put the offset. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate. And you'll see now that it is down below, or we've just rotated, kind of like if you were to put a pin through a paper and just spin the paper. That's kind of what we're doing there. All right, so now that I have my axis, okay, and I am almost there, the one nice thing about being using the fasten mate in the center point piece is it's automatically going to give me the center of my piece. So I don't have to worry about the offset on the edges, but I do have to worry about the offset downward. So I have to look and zoom in here. You can see this Z, X, and Y, and it gives you a stem in the direction that it's going. Now, because this is the front, because I've done all this, I know that Y in this case in my current orientation is up and down. That's going to depend on how you've originated it, so on and so forth. But that's something that you just have to deal with. So you're looking for the stem that goes into the linear direction of where you want it to go. So now I'm going to choose the offset, and because we did a fasten mate, you're going to have 3 options. That's exactly why I'm looking at, okay, what would Z do? For right now, Z would go front to back, X would go side to side, and Y goes up and down. I know that I have my side to side already done because we're using the center point of this piece. However, I need to move this down. So I know that the Y characteristic is the up and down piece. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in and push type 150, and I'm going to hit enter. Now, when I hit enter, I am not executing the plan. I'm merely previewing it. Okay, so in that case, it went downward. If it goes upward on you, just put a negative symbol and hit enter, and it'll go the opposite way. Obviously, it did the right thing, so we're just going to go ahead and delete that and put it in 0.50. Once I've done that, I've properly positioned. Watch what happens to the front piece. I no longer have any of that, and it's solid. I can't click on it and move it. All right. Now for the same thing, we're going to go ahead and flip the script and do a planar mate. Okay. So the planar mate acts kind of the same, but it's a little bit more tedious. So I'm going to go planar mate. I'm going to click on this surface, and I'm going to click on this surface. I want them to oppose. So I'm going to flip. Okay. Check mark. I always tell students it's best to just bring it down to kind of where you want. Easier to access, but it's totally up to you. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and planar mate, and I want this surface and this surface to align. And now this is where, again, your axes come into play. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look at it, and don't worry about the red piece moving. Like, oh my goodness, it's going around. So I'm going to just push down on my mouse wheel and move it around so I can get a good look. Rotate it. It looks like the Z in this particular case is moving outward. So I'm going to go ahead and put the offset, and notice the Z is the location because it's the referencing the surfaces. Okay, that's why I say the orientation is going to matter depending on how you made your part, depending on how you're orienting your part. There's a lot of things to it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 0.50, and let's see if it goes in the correct direction. All right, looks like it goes in the correct direction. I hit a base hit with that. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter or check mark. Now notice the check mark did not remove our ability, because I still have degrees of freedom. I can still move it. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out, roll my mouse wheel here, and then I want to zoom back in, and I'm going to go ahead and do a planar mate on the bottom this time. So I want this surface and this surface to align. Are they in alignment? Yes, they are. However, which direction is going to be up and down? Well, again, in this particular case, it's the Z again for some odd reason. So I'm going to go ahead and offset, and I put it in 0.50 because we know that's the depth of the offset, and I'm going to hit enter. Uh-oh, it went the wrong way. Okay, no biggie. I'm going to go ahead and hit the negative button, put it in front, hit enter. All right. Now you might sit there and say, but it's way off. It's way off. Again, that's just a preview. I haven't executed anything. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and press my check mark. You'll notice that my front no longer has a degree of freedom. I cannot move it. And that is how you assemble your Bulldog clip. I hope this helps. See you in the next videos.